One of the blessings of friendship is that we keep each other balanced, and so that's the topic for today. So I have Kelly, Gretchen, and Christina with me to talk about balance.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, well, as we're talking about balance, I was just thinking about how I had a great summer. I felt refreshed, I felt relaxed, and then it became back to school time, and all of a sudden, all of the cares of the world felt like it was on my shoulders. It was like, I've got so many things to do. I've got to get kids to sports and get kids to activities and do my own stuff if I'm working, and
it gets busy fast.
It gets busy. It's hard to balance it. And so I found this verse that really comforts me. It's from Psalms 46, where it talks about how God is the refuge of his people. And in Psalms 46:5 it says, God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her at the break of dawn. And I was just thinking how, that's so comforting to know God's in the midst of us. He's in the midst of our busy, he's in the midst of our lives, and he's there to help us right from the very first thing in the morning.
And I think that it reminds us to invite him into our morning too, like the first thing we do. I try to remember first thing when I wake up to invite him in, to pray and to talk to him and commune with him.
Yes, so good.
Okay, so a verse that I'm thinking about right now is in 2 Timothy. And it says that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power and of love and of sound mind. And I just really like that because we're actually not called to live in fear, we're called to live in peace. And so when you're dwelling on the things that make you fearful or make you worry or have anxiety, it's actually a sin against God. He wants us to be peaceful, and we're more productive that way for his kingdom. So I just think that that's a good one to hang on to.
Especially in the midst of your day, as you're going around and you get that anxiety because you're so busy running here and there. To just remember that, I think, will just calm your spirit in that moment.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Another thing about scripture is it is alive and it soothes your soul, and so I love being able to hear what you guys have to say, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to write that one down too. One that really comforts me during times of being stressed and having anxiety is Psalm 94:19. It says, when the cares of my heart are many, your consolations cheer my soul. And I just think that is so beautiful because, regardless of what the cares are that you have, whether it's activities or stressors out of your control, that it actually says that your consolations cheer my soul. So that's awesome that God is our cheerleader for our soul, and he just wants to comfort us. So
that's who you want on your team.
Absolutely. Please be my cheerleader.
I love this. This really will help with the balance.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
All of these will. So thank you guys for sharing those with me.
Thank
Blessed
you.
be.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Be blessed.
And Cammie's blessed to have those ladies to bounce off of. It's really interesting. There's also scripture that says when you fall into trials, to count it all as joy.
And that's hard to do.
And that's hard to do, and that really puts it into perspective. We're told we're going to have trouble. So it's an exercise, a daily exercise, because some days we find that peace, and we're like, oh, we're all good, and then the next day we're surprised when we're frantic. So anyway, you know what I'm saying?
It's so true.
Yes.
Yep. And we love Cammie, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Cammie.